So random variables, first of all, in the starting of the lectures of this chapter probability, I have told you the difference between the two terms, which was experiment and random experiment. Do you remember the difference? What is the difference between the two terms, experiment and random experiment? What was the difference? Okay, so the only difference was that in this case and in this case your outcome was already known to you beforehand. Only without performing the experiment also you know your outcome, but in this case you can't predetermine your outcomes. So outcomes cannot be predetermined for this case. This was the basic difference, that you have some set of outcomes but you are not sure that what will be your outcome. Similar difference is there in between these terms, which is variable and random variable. So what do you understand by variable? So what do you mean by variable? What do you mean by variable? If I say that this is a equation, then you will tell that yes, x and y are variable. But what are variable? So variable are those quantities which vary, or which vary means that they will take some set of values. They will not take a particular value like this. Okay, they will at some time x will take the value as 0, at other times x may take the value as 1, and so on. So but if you want to just focus at one point of time, then at a particular point of time or for a particular experiment, this x value will be fixed only. So let's say if you say that x is 1, then you directly imply that y will be definitely 0. Y cannot be anything except 0 in this case. But what are random variables? Random variables are such variables whose values are not predetermined. So even if you say that random variable x is 1, then random variable y is equal to 0 is not sure here. Yes or no? Okay. So what I'm trying to say, if even I write like this, x plus y equal to 1, then also you are not sure that if x becomes 1, then you can't say that y will be equal to 0. Because at a particular time, the random variable's value depends upon your experiment. Basically, it depends upon the outcomes which will it follow. Okay, so what are random variables? Whose values are not predetermined. You can't determine your value directly. They will have some values, but those values, like for this x, you will have some set, and in that set x can take any of the value. Similarly, y will have some set, and in that set y can take any of the value. Similar in this case, outcomes are in a set. The particular result can be any of the outcomes. Similarly for random variable x and y. Yes, so write down the definition for random variable. A random variable is a variable whose value is subject to a random process. That means it depends upon a process, like tossing of a coin. If I define random variable x as the number of head I get, then it depends upon your process. It depends upon your outcome. That if head turns up, then x will be 1. But if head doesn't turn up, tail turns up, then the x will be 0. So you are not sure beforehand that what will be your x. Okay, but it will be determined using the concept of probability or the concept of your random process. Okay, so write down this definition. First of all, write down the definition. No need to write these things. This was just for explanation. So till now we have seen the definition that a variable whose value depends upon some chances or some probability or on some random process. Random process means random experiment whose outcomes are not fixed. Then that variable will be your random variable. Okay. Let's take an example like this, that x is a number of heads obtained in tossing of 3 coins. Okay, so this I have defined manually that what is x. Now what will I say? I'll just look at the particular outcomes and then I'll define the value of x. So how many outcomes are possible for this case? For this experiment, how many outcomes are possible? This is the basic probability that we have seen. How many outcomes? Reply fast. So yes, the coin is tossed 3 times, then you know the sample space is 2 cube 3, 2 cube, that is 8. So the possible outcomes, if I list them down, then they will be like this. So these will be your possible outcomes if I list them down. Yes, good. Okay. Now x, what I have defined, x is the number of heads. X is nothing but the number of heads. Can you tell me what first, for the outcome first, if I number it as 1, what is the value of x? What is the value of x for the first outcome? What is the value of x for the first outcome? X, number of heads obtained in tossing 3 coins. If this outcome occurs, then your x value will be 3 heads, that is 3. Why 1? It will not be 1, it will be 3. For this case, how many heads are occurring? 2 heads are occurring. So, x value is 2. Similarly, for this also 2, this also 2. But for this, it will be 1, 1, 1, and lastly will be 0. Yes? So, you can see that depending upon your particular outcome, your value of x is changing for a particular process. So, value of x is not fixed. It is changing on the depending upon the outcomes. Okay. So, if head occurs 3 times, x is 3. If head occurs 2 times, x is 2. If head occurs 1 time, x is 1. And if head doesn't occur, then your x is 0. Okay. So, this thing we have understood. Now, if I want to ask you, what is the probability of x equal to 3? What is the probability of x equal to 3? I am giving you 2 options. Option A, whether this will be 1 by 4, or option B, whether this will be 1 by 8. Tell me which option is correct. What will be the probability of x equal to 3? I have not asked you anything else, just this thing. Probability of x equal to 3. A or B, which one is correct? So most of you have replied with the option B. Most of you have replied with the option B, which is the correct answer, 1 by 8. Do not get confused that x equal to 3 and x is taking value 0, 1, 2 and 3. Do not get confused that x belongs to this set 0, this set 0, 1, 2 and 3. So 4 possible cases, among which 3 is one of them. So 1 by 4. Don't do like this. Okay, this is not the correct answer, because again the same thing. Remember the first class where I have told you that if there is a die on which there are only 3 numbers printed, that is 1, 2 and 3, then again you will have to list them down that how many times the number 1 is coming, how many times the number 2 is coming. So if you are saying that x is this one, so you are wrong. X is not this one, but x is which one? 0, 3 times 1, 3 times 2 and then 1 times 3. So what will you say? Total possible cases are 8, among which 3 is one of them. So 1 by 8. Okay. So this is how you will use the concept of probability for a random variable. How? You will just see that what is x actually and what particular value of x is repeating how many times. Okay, understood this thing? Now one more thing you can see is that this thing physically does not mean anything. X physically does not mean anything. X equal to 3 means one thing. What is x equal to 3 meaning? That head is occurring 3 times, or basically this outcome is occurring. So x in itself, it does not have any meaning. It actually depends upon your process. It actually depends upon your outcome. Okay, if I ask you what is x, it is depending upon your outcome. So probability of x equal to 3 is the statement will be equivalent to that. What is the probability of getting 3 heads? It is the same thing as probability of getting 3 heads. So if you write in terms of a random variable like this, or if you do not write in the terms of random variable, and if you just say by looking at the outcomes that among the 8 outcomes 1 is 3h, so answer will be the same. Understood or not? So in itself x is not having any meaning, still we are using it. In this case, in this example, actually if you do not use x also, then also you can find out the probabilities. But in some cases, without using the concept of random variable, you can't solve the probability. And what all those cases are? what all those cases are when the formula had the limitations. When this formula had the limitations, I've told you when the total number of cases become infinite, then in that case you can't use this formula. So whenever you will have infinite number of cases or infinite sample space, then you can obviously go with this concept of random variable to make your problems easier. Also, if the random space is not infinite, then also you can use it. Like if I take another example that if I ask you that what is the probability that sum of number obtained, if I ask you this, that 7 dices are thrown together, and if I ask you this probability that the sum should be less than 30. Now in this case, if you do not use your concept of random variable, then it will become very, very hectic. Why? Because first of all, the sample space is finite, but it is very, very large. What is the sample space here? Can you tell me how many sample space or how many possible events are there? Sample space for this case. Wake up everyone, don't sleep. Sample space, just an easy question. Yes, it will be 6 to the power 7. If you are tossing the dice 6 times, if you are tossing 7 dice together, then the sample space will be 6 to the power 7. 6 to the power 7 is a very large number. Now, if you want to look for all those cases where the sum will be less than 30, then you first of all you will say it is the case when all those are 1, 1, 1. Then you will say it is all those cases when the sum is 2, 2, 2. Then so on you will find out the cases. Obviously, it will become very time taking if you do like this. But what if I define my random variable x to be the sum on the dices? Now you know that this x particular value of x will range between 7 to 42. Yes or no? Minimum possible value of x will be 7 when all the dices are having 1, 1, 1, 1. So minimum possible value will be 7. Maximum value will be 42, which is when all the dices are having 6 on their faces. Okay, now you will just have to look in which cases the sum is lesser than 30. So now it will become easier to solve using this concept of random variable. Understood or not what I am trying to say? So whenever your data becomes very large to handle, then you can use the concept of random variables. But this kind of case also it is not asked in GATE. I was just telling you the use of this concept. Any doubt? It's not a GATE question, it's just a question where I just prompted you the use of this concept. Okay, obviously you can solve them, you can find out the cases when 7 occurs. Some 7 will occur only one time, so probability will be 1 by 6 to the power 7. Similarly, then the sum will be 8. 8 sum will be obtained in how many ways? You will have to look for that and then you can solve it. Okay, so let's not go deep into it. We will solve the GATE questions only so that you are preparing for GATE and you get ready for GATE only. Okay, so let's not solve this for now. We will solve some GATE questions. So after writing down this example, you can write down this statement, the difference between outcome and random variable. What is the difference between outcome and random variable? So outcome is a quantity which is occurring in real life, but random variable is not occurring in real life. It is just quantifying your outcomes. It is just telling you a number regarding your outcome. That is the thing which is done by your random variable. So write down this line and write down this also, all this example and all. Look at the question and please mention this question as an example 2 because you will refer them back again. So this question I am referring to as example 2. This was example 1, then example 2. Okay. So what is the question? A fair coin is tossed till a head appears for the first time. Okay, what is the experiment? That you are tossing a coin till the head appears for the first time. So coming to the question, a fair coin is tossed till a head appears for the first time. As soon as the head will appear, you will stop your tossing of the coin. Okay, this is what is mentioned. Now, probability that the number of tosses required is odd. probability that the number of tosses required is odd. So first of all, if I ask you how many times you are tossing the coin, then that is not fixed. It may so happen that you are tossing the coin infinite number of times and still you are not getting a head. Okay, so defining the sample space in this case is very hard. Yes or no? Because it may so occur that you are tossing the coin infinite, 10 lakh, 1 crore times, but still you are not getting the head. Okay, so in this case we will have to use the concept of your random variable. Now tell me, what should I define my x to be? What should I define the x to be? And everybody else give it a reply. What should I choose my random variable to be? What, like in this case it was the number of heads. For this particular case, what will be the value of x? So x will be assumed to be the number of times the coin is tossed. Why? Because if you choose your x to be the number of heads, then obviously your number of heads will be either 0 or 1 only. Because either the head will occur or not occur. First thing. And second thing, we will choose a random variable to be such whose probability is required. So here the probability was required for the number of tosses to be odd. So if you do not define your x to be the number of tosses, then how can you calculate the probability of x being odd? Okay, so that is why we will define x to be the number of times Now I'll repeat the same task which I have done over there here also. I'll see what are the particular outcomes in this case, and then I'll see what will be the value of the corresponding x. Similarly, I'll just find out the probability of the corresponding x also. Okay, these all things I'll be writing here. So first possible outcome. First possible outcome in this case can be such that you are tossing the coin one time. You are tossing the coin one time and you get a head. Okay, first possible case for this experiment can be such that you toss the coin first time and you got a head and your experiment got stopped. So for this case, this will be the outcome. Now tell me what will be the particular value of x here. For this outcome, what will be the value of x? X will be equal to the number of tosses, which is 1, 1. Okay. Let's come to the second outcome. I'll look at this after later on. So let's look at the second outcome possible. So the second outcome possible is that you get a head. You get a tail and then a head. On first toss you get a tail and then on the second toss you get a head. Okay. Now for this case, how many tosses are required? Because x is nothing but the number of times the coin is tossed. So it will be equal to 2. Okay, similarly the third outcome can be like this and this will be 3. Similarly it can be like this and similarly it will go on up to infinity. Yes. Now if I ask you what is the probability of x equal to 1? Can you tell me what is the probability of x equal to 1? What is the probability of x equal to 1? So first thing that should come in your mind is that what does x equal to 1 mean? So x equal to 1 means that probability of occurrence of this outcome. Now probability of occurrence of this outcome is nothing but the probability of getting a head in tossing a coin one time, so which is equal to half. So this probability is half. So one thing again I'm repeating, probability of x equal to 1 means that probability of getting a head and the probability of getting a head is half, so that probability of x equal to 1 is half. Now probability of x equal to 2, what will it be? Probability of x equal to 2 again implies that you are getting this outcome. So probability of this outcome, what will it be? Yes, it will be 1 by 4. 1 by 4 because the probability of getting a tail is half and this should occur together. We have seen that when there is an AND condition, T should occur and H should occur, then we multiply the probabilities. So I'll multiply them to get this as 1 by 4 or 1 by 2 square. Yes. Similarly for this probability of x equal to 3 means probability of TTH, I'll again multiply half, half and half. It will come out to be 1 by 2 cube. Similarly 1 by 2 to the power 4 and so on. Have you understood this table, what I have done over here? Just focus on what does this x means. What does x equal to 2 means? X equal to 2 means this outcome. So probability of x equal to 2 is nothing but the probability of getting TH. Okay. Now what was required? The required probability was that what is the probability of x being odd? Okay. What is the probability of x being odd? So you can see there are many possible ways when this x can be odd. One was the case with when x is 1. Then was the case when x is 3. Similarly, again when x will be 5, you will be having your x as odd. Now, is there a AND condition between these two, or there is a OR condition? What kind of a condition is there between these two events? Between these two events, what kind of a condition is there? AND condition or condition? Yes, definitely OR condition is there, because either this will occur or this will occur. They can't occur together. Yes, if this occurred, then we will not go up to this point. Yes or no? So they are not occurring together. There is a OR condition between those. Okay, so there is a OR condition because both of these things are not occurring together. Either this will occur or this will occur. So that is why we will add the respective probabilities. So I'll say P of x equal to odd implies that either x is 1 or x is 3 or x is 5, and it will go up to infinity. Yes? So this is why we have added over here. Now x equal to 1 probability is half, x equal to 3 probability is 1 by 2 cube, similarly 2 to the power 5. Now how to solve this? Summation. This is a summation of a particular series. How to add this or how to get this sum? What kind of a series it is? Yes, it is an infinite GP. Yes, good. It's an infinite GP. So sum of an infinite GP is given by A by 1 minus R, where what is A? A denotes the first term of the series, so we can see that A is equal to half over here. And what is R? R denotes the common ratio between two successive terms. Common ratio between two successive terms. So how to find that R value? R value, just take two successive terms and divide them. Like this. So you will get this to be 1 by 2 square or 1 by 4. And finally you will get this as your answer, 2 by 3. So you can see that this kind of question, if you do not consider your x to be some random variable, then you can't solve this question easily. That's why we are using the concept of random variable over here. Any doubt in this question? Okay, so I think you all got it cleared. So let's move to the next subtopic. It is not that much important. These are just terms that you must be familiar with. Okay, so write down these types of this random variable, and there are two types: discrete random variable and continuous random variable. And in discrete, again we will have two types: finite discrete, infinite discrete. So just write this down and then I'll explain. Write it down and then reply.